What if I told you that the Civil War was not a simple clash of North versus South, but a series of critical moments that shaped the course of American history? From the deafening roar of cannons to the haunting silence of aftermath, each battle was a pivotal tug in the war's grand tapestry. But among these, there were 5 battles that significantly shifted the tide, turning points that propelled the Southern forces forward, further inflaming the crucible of conflict. These battles were not just mere skirmishes in distant fields. They were the catalysts that changed the dynamics of the war, fostering hope where there was despair and despair where there was hope. They are the 5 most impactful battles of the Civil War, each with its unique story and each leaving an indelible mark on the fabric of our nation. Join me on this journey through time as we unravel the battles that tipped the scales in the Civil War. Our first stop takes us to the Battle of Fort Sumter, the spark that ignited the Civil War. In the heart of Charleston Harbor, South Carolina, stood Fort Sumter, a symbol of federal authority in the South. As tensions escalated, the fort became a bone of contention between the North and the South. The South wanted to claim it, the North aimed to hold it, but as Abraham Lincoln took office and promised to reinforce the fort, the South was left with a choice: surrender the fort or fight. They chose to fight. On the 12th of April, 1861, Confederate forces opened fire on Fort Sumter, marking the start of a war that would divide a nation. For 34 hours, the air was thick with smoke and the ground shook with the thunder of cannons. Despite the ferocity of the attack, no one was killed, but the fort, battered and bruised, was forced to surrender. The Battle of Fort Sumter was the first battle of the Civil War, but its significance extended far beyond that. It was a statement, a proclamation that the South was willing to fight for its beliefs, for its way of life. This battle didn't just mark the beginning of the war, it set the stage for what was to come. The fall of Fort Sumter galvanized both the North and the South. In the North, it ignited a burning desire to preserve the Union, to quell the rebellion. Volunteers flooded recruitment offices ready to fight for their nation. In the South, it was a symbol of hope, a sign that they could stand against the North, that they could fight for their rights. The Battle of Fort Sumter was not a grand battle with thousands of soldiers and complex strategies. It was a siege, a bombardment, a statement, but it was a statement that echoed across the nation, a statement that sparked a war, a statement that changed America. The Battle of Fort Sumter, a fiery start to a war that would change America forever. Next, we journey to the bloodiest single-day battle in American history, the Battle of Antietam. On September 17, 1862, Union and Confederate forces clashed near Antietam Creek in Maryland. This battle, known for its staggering casualty count, would become a crucial turning point in the Civil War. The conflict was fierce, brutal, and unyielding, with neither side willing to back down. The Union, led by Major General George B. McClellan, was up against the Confederate forces under the command of General Robert E. Lee. The battle was marked by desperate charges and countercharges, a testament to the intensity of the struggle. A particularly deadly encounter occurred in a sunken road, later named the Bloody Lane, where the Confederate troops made a strong stand before eventually being driven back. By the end of the day, both sides had suffered heavy losses. The Union counted over 12,000 casualties, while the Confederates had over 10,000. The scale of the carnage was unprecedented and left a lasting mark on the nation, but the Battle of Antietam was not just about the sheer number of casualties. It held significant strategic importance. Despite the heavy losses, the Union managed to halt Lee's first invasion of the North. This gave the Northern forces a much-needed boost in morale and momentum. Furthermore, this Union victory, albeit a costly one, provided President Abraham Lincoln with the opportunity he had been waiting for. In the aftermath of Antietam, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, a historic document that declared the freedom of enslaved people in the Confederate-held territories. This not only added moral weight to the Union's cause, but also effectively prevented foreign intervention in favor of the Confederacy. So, the Battle of Antietam, with its high casualty count and strategic significance, played a key role in shaping the course of the Civil War. It was a testament to the courage and resilience of the soldiers, a turning point that shifted the tides of the war, and a catalyst for a monumental declaration. Antietam, a turning point that led to a monumental declaration. Now we head to a small town in Pennsylvania that would host one of the war's most pivotal battles, Gettysburg. In the sweltering heat of July 1863, the peaceful town of Gettysburg became an unwilling participant in a three-day battle that would forever alter the course of the American Civil War. Over those 72 hours, Union and Confederate forces clashed in fierce combat that would result in the largest number of casualties in the entire war. The Confederate forces, under the command of General Robert E. Lee, marched into Gettysburg with the objective of securing a major victory on northern soil. With prior victories under his belt, Lee hoped that a win here would demoralize the Union and force them to negotiate for peace. However, fate had other plans. The Union forces, led by General George G. Meade, stood their ground, fighting back with unyielding determination. The battle was brutal, with neither side willing to yield, but it was on the third day that the tide began to turn. Lee, in a desperate bid, ordered an assault on the center of the Union line, a move that would come to be known as Pickett's Charge. This proved to be a grave miscalculation. In the face of intense artillery fire, the Confederate forces suffered devastating losses. Pickett's charge ended in defeat, marking a decisive victory for the Union and turning the momentum of the war in favor of the North. The Battle of Gettysburg became a symbol of the Union's resilience and a testament to their determination. In the aftermath, Gettysburg was transformed from a small, quiet town into a somber reminder of the war's cost. It was here that President Lincoln would later deliver his iconic Gettysburg Address, honoring the fallen and reiterating the Union's commitment to preserving the nation. Gettysburg, a battle that marked the beginning of the end for the Confederacy. Our penultimate stop is the Battle of Vicksburg, a crucial turning point in the war. Now picture this. The year is 1863 and the Civil War is in full swing. The Union and the Confederacy are locked in a fierce struggle with the Mississippi River a crucial lifeline for both sides. Enter Vicksburg, a Confederate stronghold perched high on the bluffs of the Mississippi. Its strategic location made it a vital target. Why, you might ask? Well, Vicksburg controlled all river traffic, making it a choke point for supplies and communication. Its fall would effectively sever the Confederacy, splitting it in two and crippling its ability to wage war. After a series of failed attempts to take the city, Union General Ulysses S. Grant launched a bold plan. He decided to cut off Vicksburg from the rest of the Confederacy by encircling it. This approach, known as a siege, was a risky move, but Grant believed it was the best shot at victory. For 47 grueling days, the Union Army tightened its grip around Vicksburg, cutting off all supplies and reinforcements. The Confederate forces, led by General John Pemberton, held out as long as they could. But with food running out and morale sinking, Pemberton had no choice but to surrender on July 4, 1863. The fall of Vicksburg was a heavy blow to the Confederacy. The Mississippi River was now under Union control, cutting the South off from crucial resources. This marked a significant shift in the war, diminishing the South's capacity to fight and signaling the beginning of the end for the Confederate cause. So there you have it. The Battle of Vicksburg, a strategic masterstroke that turned the tide of the Civil War. It was here that the Union demonstrated its resolve and tactical prowess, forever changing the course of American history. Vicksburg, the battle that split the Confederacy and turned the tide of war. We've journeyed through time and witnessed the battles that shaped the Civil War. But what does this mean for us today? As we reflect on the pivotal battles of Fort Sumter, Antietam, Gettysburg, and Vicksburg, we're reminded of the profound impact they had on the course of the Civil War and, ultimately, American history. These clashes weren't just mere military engagements, they were defining moments that reshaped the nation and continue to influence the America we know today. From Fort Sumter's first shots sparking the conflict, to the tide-turning Battle of Antietam, the turning point at Gettysburg, and Vicksburg's siege impacting the Union's control over the Mississippi River, each battle has a story to tell. A story that underscores the resilience, determination, and sacrifice that are integral to our national identity. These historical lessons serve as a reminder of how far we've come as a nation and the challenges we've overcome. If you found this journey through history enlightening, please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Until next time, never stop exploring history.